Dr. Sebastian Gorka. So President Trump, he's staying busy this week as Biden remains out of the public eye, reportedly working on debate prep for all week. Do you think President Trump, though, should be focusing more on debate prep?
The guy who defeated 16 rhinos in 2016 as a man who'd never run for political office before? I think not. I think not. This is the guy who is just unstoppable. The man who makes labels that zing like no other labels possible. The idea, I mean, let's just stop for a second and not talk about President Trump, who's actually out there on the road trying to save America. Let's talk about the fact that the current incumbent, the man who has a nuclear football within 30 feet of him 24 hours a day, is hiding in Camp David for a week. To do what? And is there not enough going on in the world around us? Chinese military aircraft buzzing our vessels, the war in Ukraine continuing, the death, the hostages, Americans taken also by Hamas in the Middle East. We have illegals murdering 12-year-old girls after they raped them here in America, or mothers of 5 in Maryland let in by this administration, and he's hiding out at Camp David. It's a bloody outrage is what it is. And no, President Trump will do just fine on Thursday.
Well, President Trump announced this weekend he knows who he is picking for vice president, but of course he is not telling anybody yet. He supposedly has not notified that person yet. However, he says they will most likely be in attendance at Thursday's debate. What's your prediction? I know you're very close with the president. What's your prediction for a running mate?
Well, I was told who it would be a few months ago. I was sworn to silence. It's somebody that very few people are talking about. Now, that doesn't mean the president can't change his mind. This pick was an amazing pick. I just want to see somebody who has a real job for 4 years. Most vice presidents are, irrelevant. They go to the funerals the president doesn't want to go to. I want to see a real vice president who has a portfolio like, dismantling the FBI or reforming the CIA, somebody who has a job to do. And then the most important thing is, of course, 2028. We need somebody who can take this populist message, this America First message that President Trump has built for us from 2015, and then have that third act after President Trump leaves office, if God willing he wins this November. After his 4 years of his second term, we need a vice president who can say, okay, I'm the new guy, and I'm going to continue what President Trump started. There are a lot of great choices out there, but let's wait and see.
Oh, your lips are sealed. All right, good stuff. Well, we're seeing new reports now that President Biden, he's dumping millions of dollars into North Carolina, a state that Democrats have not won since 2008. And in the meantime, though, Trump opening campaign offices in Minnesota, holding rallies in New York, New Jersey. But Minnesota hasn't voted Republican since 1972 for president. New York hasn't gone red since 84. Is there a real possibility that these states are in play?
Everything is possible. I live in the Commonwealth of Virginia. My wife is the chair of the Fairfax County GOP. We've just been told there's going to be a very sizable contingent from the RNC coming here to work the state, to work the Commonwealth. Look at what Lee Zeldin did in New York when he was running against Hochul recently. We had a Republican who came within 6 points of defeating an incumbent Democrat for the governorship of New York. That's stunning. You look at the figures for what's happening in Pennsylvania, thanks to Scott Presler and others. You look at what's happening in Virginia and elsewhere. Anything is possible. Why? Especially when it comes to the minority vote. They've had it. When you see more Hispanics support President Trump than support Biden because of the illegals who have been let into this country threatening their jobs, when you see the black population who've said, we've had it with the Democrat political plantation, when you see 100,000 people in New Jersey, 30,000 in the Bronx. Look, I don't want to take anything for granted. As a special forces guy said to me, we need to campaign like the third monkey going up the ramp onto the ark. We need to fight, fight, fight. Don't take anything for granted. But at the end of the day, it's President Trump. Anything is possible.
All right, Sebastian Gorka, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Appreciate it.
God bless. Thank you, guys.